Hello everyone, and welcome back to Pokémon FireRed, the possibly penultimate episode. We are in Cerulean City. To my right is the Nugget Bridge, and I have bought a bunch of max repels. 250 steps of no wild encounters. I don't really want wild encounters at this point. In this cave here, it opens up after you've defeated the Elite Four and gotten the Ruby and the Sapphire. So, yeah, it's a late game thing. If we did encounter wild Pokemon in here, if I didn't use repels, and it might even be that some of them are higher level than me, I don't quite know. But yeah, if we would encounter some, they would be level 60... No, not 60, well, about level 50, so definitely very powerful wild Pokemon to be found here. Get a full restore. There's one thing which makes using Repel so much nicer in later generations. And a Max Elixir, that's kinda nice. I really don't know where I want to go. I know this is completely maze-like. I'm not too interested in all the items here. If I miss some, that'll be that. Is that a place? Repelled effects wore off. Okay, then let's go back to the bag and use another one. I think Gen 6 or maybe 5 introduced it, where if your repel ran out, a small menu came up that allowed you to just say, okay, I want to use another one straight away. So it's like, repel ran out, do you want to use a new one? Makes using chaining repels so much more comfortable. And in here we have a Max Revive, nice. So in case Max dies, we can now get him back. An Ultra Ball, not gonna use that. I do want to surf. This was noticeably faster than I had intended. Okay, 141 game hours. Most of that, as I said, is from breeding and using the emulator speed feature. Mew! Actually, that's Mewtwo. And that is, in Generation 1, by far the most powerful Pokemon. And to this day, excluding Mega Evolutions, it is one of the most powerful Pokemon that was ever created. Catching this without the Master Ball is a major pain. But since I'm not interested in catching the sort of Suicune, which is randomly running around the wild areas, I'm just going to use the Master Ball. So, hey, that was a quick fight, wasn't it? Wow, that took 3 minutes. Mewtwo, a Pokemon whose genetic code was repeatedly recombined for research. It turned vicious as a result. Yeah, just place it in the box. I'm not using it. And that's really all I wanted to do in here. This would now be the best place to train up my Pokemon, because it has the strongest wild Pokemon, and I'm somewhat sad now that I didn't do this before training up my Pokemon to level 80 for the second team. But oh well, it's too late now. Yeah. Mewtwo is an incredibly strong Pokemon. It has massively good special attack and speed, and it also gets Mega Evolutions when you get it into Gen 6, I believe. Making it just really, really strong. I guess let's move Pokemon around. Firstly, let's check the summary. So Mewtwo, pure Psychic type. It has Pressure, which raises the foe's PP usage. It's not too good. 231 special attack. That's not bad. And still very good speed, and its other stats are nothing to sneeze at. And its moveset, it has Swift, always hit. Recover. So it's got a Self Heal, Safeguard. saving it from status problems, and Psychic, which hits like a truck when Mewtwo uses it. So this fight without the Master Ball can take a while. And being at level 70 is also very powerful. It's difficult to catch, and it can dish out huge damage. So really not a fun time. But it is now time. Now that took about 5 minutes, so I'm just going to... Yeah, just place that. Okay, I'm now going to withdraw Rhydon. Then I'm going to go into deposit because it's faster. And I am going to store Alakazam, Dragonite, Articuno, Gyarados, and Gengar. Then I'm going to withdraw Jinx, Primeape, Raichu, Scizor, and Flareon. And finally I'm going to move items because, yeah, I want those. So I'm just taking all the items these guys had and put them in the bag. Does anyone else have any items? Yeah, these Meowth for some reason have items, which I didn't take away from them before I was done leveling. There was a Nugget. And an Oranberry. That's okay. You guys all don't have anything. There's all my Dittos. Oh yeah, and one thing I wanted to show you. Did I already show you this? I don't know. I'll just go through it in a moment. Okay, so that's that. Yeah, move Pokemon. So I wanted to show you the sort of... No? Wait. Place. Now summary. Okay. So I have two Lapras, level 100. I hacked these in. These are not trained up in any way. This one here has 0 in all of its determinant values. So this would be the worst possible Lapras you could imagine. It also has no effort values trained to it. So I hacked these and I basically gave it all the worst stats possible. You can see, for example, attack 175. The other Lapras here has the best possible DV, so 31 in all stats. This would be insanely difficult and insanely rare to get. Especially in Gen 3. So it also has the EV training, which in this case, if you look at its special attack, 175 without any at the worst possible, and 269 at the best possible. This is with a neutral nature, so none of these have a nature that has any effect, because nature always kind of makes one stat better and the other stat worse, or does nothing, so there can be good and bad natures, but in total, basically, a nature has 0 effect in terms of total stats, basically, because it makes some better and some worse, or does nothing, and just the sum is 0. But special attack with a good nature, of course, could be higher. But just look at the attack value: 206 versus 175. So that's 31 attack. That's, I guess, it's under 30%. So that's the maximum difference that a best possible and a worst possible DV can make. The reason I wanted to show you this is to basically make the point that if you're playing competitively, then yeah, farming for best possible DVs would be useful and maybe even necessary. But if you're just playing the game normally, grinding out DVs is somewhat useless. I did it to some extent for my team Pokemon, but I did not go anywhere near the maximum possible. I know Flareon has reasonably good ones. I know Scyther has 31 attack, for example. I kind of looked to get one stat to be maxed out, so I think Rhydon has 31 attack, for example, Jinx 31 special attack. But really, I only looked to get one stat, at that maximum. That's reasonable to get, that's not that difficult. So these are all above average Pokemon, which took 3 generations of breeding maybe, so fairly quick. Getting even 2 stats maxed out is much more difficult. I mean, some of these randomly have it, but it's difficult to specifically go for. And getting 3 or 4 or even 5, and in some cases you want 6 for the quote-unquote perfect Pokemon. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Especially on this generation. Later on they made it easier and easier, but forget it. First trainer... Oh, I'll decide then. I'll just quickly save the game now. And I think this is actually not the penultimate, but the ultimate episode. Or maybe not. Depends on how long this takes, how it goes. Okay. So Lorelei, she will have Ice Pokemon, and she will have... most of them will be Ice Water. I could use Raichu, or I could use Primeape. Let's go Primeape. Welcome to the Pokemon League. I, Lorelei of the Elite Four, have returned. You know how it goes, no one can best me when it comes to icy Pokemon. Freezing moves are powerful, your Pokemon will be at my mercy when they're frozen solid. Haha! Are you ready? And so we're back against Lorelei. And yeah, her Dugong is now level 64, so... let's do Karate Chop, see how much that does. I think fighting is effective against ice. Yep. All of the Elite Four have leveled up their Pokemon and they have changed around their teams a little bit. Against Lapras, why don't we go to Raichu? I'm trying to get every Pokemon some screen time at least. Some of them are not as useful as others, but I think each of them should at least have 1 or 2 fights they can really help with. So let's see how much Thunderbolt does. It has more accuracy than Thunder, so that's why. Oh, it gets the kill. I mean, I am over-leveled. I guess leveling all these guys up for 1 run through the Elite Four was a bit overkill. But hey, that's what I do. I'm a real sucker for power leveling in games like these. I will be over-leveled almost all the time. But hey, Piloswine. Sadly, in this evolution, generation, it cannot yet evolve to its final state, which actually looks really cool. Piloswine's not that cool yet, but the final sort of big mammoth shape is really nice. Anyway, Flamethrower is actually effective because it's ground ice, so I can actually use that. Cloyster, I will once again change Pokemon. I mean, I could use Jinx and Rhydon or Scyther, but I'm instead going to go to Primeape. And Cloyster has massive defense, so I am going to go for Cross Chop. Okay, that worked. Karate Chop might not have been enough. Okay, Jinx, we are going to change to Flareon. I could have stuck to Primeape as well, but he's weak against psychic moves, so just in case that becomes relevant. I have to say I really like Flareon's looks. It's, oh, lovely kiss. Darn. You're faster than me? Okay. I mean, I didn't do any speed training. Now using Attract, which should lower my... Does it lower my stats or does it make me fall in love? Makes me fall in love, right? Yeah. Ugh. There's a reason I really dislike Jinx. So Flareon kind of has that sort of cute thing to it, but it's also a burning, what is it, a cat, a dog, something. So that's also cool. So yeah, I mean, I've got nothing against like kittens or something, but this is like a kitten on fire. So it's cute and powerful. It's just best of both worlds. Okay, so that was a bit annoying dealing with that Jinx. You're better than I thought. Go on ahead. You only get a taste of the Pokemon. You only got a taste of the Pokemon League's power. Let's go to the bag. I have a ton of healing items, more than I could ever use. Let's just use Super Potions. And I don't care that I'm wasting it for 3 HP here. I still have, what, 40 full restores and a bunch of hyper potions as well, so I'm not worried. Okay, Bruno, you will start out with a Steelix, I believe. So, Flareon? Maybe? I don't know. I'm Bruno of the Elite Four. Through rigorous training, people and Pokémon can become stronger without limit. I've lived and trained with my fighting Pokémon, and that will never change. Strange. We will grind you down with our superior power. Ha ha ha. Hoo-ha. Sorry. Bruno. You've gotten a bit chubby, haven't you? Sorry. I'm not sure if this is pure steel or steel rock or something. I don't know if fire is actually super effective. I think in Generation 6, steel types were nerfed somewhat, so they wouldn't be as overpowered anymore. But in Gen 3 and Gen 2 as well, steel was just really, really powerful. You use another Steelix against my Flareon, that's smart. I guess you might outspeed me actually. Steelix isn't fast, but neither is Flareon. Okay, you don't. Never mind then. And Flamethrower, Stab, and super effective. Nah, it's easy. Hitmonchan. How about we go to Jinx? Yeah, let's go to Jinx. And how about we Psychic you? I don't even know why I brought Toxic. I mean, Toxic is a good move, but I don't know. Just straight up killing the enemy tends to be stronger. Okay, and finally I think you've got a Capoeira? Or whatever it's called. Mashamp, okay. So his change is that his Onixes have become Steelixes. Let's go with Rhydon, even though I think it has a type disadvantage. If it dies, it dies. I have revives and all that. And I do like Rhydon. So how about we... Earthquake! Wow, cross chop straight away. You are fast. And that'll do a bunch of damage. I mean, so will Earthquake, but... I had not expected that to outspeed... Oh yeah, I guess it makes sense. Mashamp is fairly fast, and Rhydon is really quite slow. Why? How could I lose? My job is done. Go face your next challenge. Okay, let's go to the bag. I should have a bunch of Hyper Potions. Hyper Potion, 32 of those, so... Will this be enough? Yep. Okay, next I should be encountering Lorelei. Using ghost types. Raichu hasn't seen much action yet. Let's put Raichu... No, actually... Jinx hasn't seen much action, and this really is her fight. I'm Agatha of the Elite Four, blah blah blah, Oak, Old Duff. I don't think her dialogue has changed at all. Her Pokemon have, though. As you might recall, she somewhat suffered from the fact that there weren't many Ghost Pokemon in Gen 1. There weren't that many in Gen 2 either, but... yeah. She still has a Gengar, which dies to Psychic, luckily. She has a Crobat now, so she's evolved her X-Bat, her Golbat further. The reason I said X-Bat is because in German, Crobat is actually called X-Bat, so that's why the name was kind of in my brain. Okay, it dies easily enough to an Ice Beam. She has another Gengar. But this one's actually level 70, so... pretty powerful, definitely. I should have stopped leveling up my Pokemon at 70 as well, would have made it a little more interesting, but it's too late, and I do power level all the time in pretty much any... excuse me, in pretty much any game. She has a Misdreavus, which is actually a pure Ghost type. Unlike, you know, Ghastly Haunter and Gengar, which are Ghost Poison. This is a pure Ghost type, so... kind of interesting. And finally Arbok. And I'm going to change Pokemon just because I can. Let's go to Rhydon. I think Rhydon's not going to see much action anyway. It's cool, but it's just not that powerful. And of course, cutting my attack makes ground moves weaker. So here goes Earthquake. Assuming it hits. Double team means it's no longer 100%, but it does. This should still be a kill. I'm hoping anyway. Yeah. I mean, stab and super effective means it's 300 attack power or something. And again, we get 100 times the maximum level of her team as money in the end. So her strongest Pokemon was level 70, which means we get 7,000 Pokédollars. Or Pokébucks, or whatever you want to call them. And there he is, Lance. Does he open with his Gyarados? I don't know anymore. I'm going to switch to Raichu just in case he does. Ah, so you've returned, Strange. I lead the Elite Four. You can call me Lance, the Dragon Trainer. You know that dragons are mythical Pokemon. Okay, this is exactly the same as before. I don't remember if he still starts with Gyarados or if... Okay, he does, good. You will intimidate me? But I don't need my attack, I need my special attack. Let's do Thunder. And this is a 4 times weakness. On a stabbed 120 attack power move, so this will be the kill, easily. Aerodactyl. I don't know what that can do. I'm just going to switch out to Scizor because he hasn't seen any action yet. And I don't know. I'll see if this works out the way I want it to. So let's do Sword Stance. Oh, you do Earthquake. Is that going to be super effective? Because if it is, I'm in trouble. Huh, it's okay. And another Sword Stance. And let's go for another one. Aerial Ace is gonna hurt. Not too much though. It's not effective against the steel bit, and it is super effective against the buck bit of me. Do I have some max potions? I don't have a max elixir, but potions, that's the question. I mean, I could always use... there, max potion. How much does that? Oh, I could have used a hyper potion. I didn't do the calculations there at all. Oh, it's not too bad. Okay, so let's try Silverwind. Ow. Stop earthquaking me. Aerodactyl is deceptively fast. And that was not very effective. I just want to point that out. Let's see what Slash does. Not bad, eh? He also now has a Kingdra, which I believe was added in Gen 2? Maybe Gen 3, anyway, it's the sort of final evolution of the Seahorse Pokemon thing. The reason I'm doing so much damage now is because I leveled up my attack using Sword Stance 3 times, so it's now at the maximum possible value, basically. And I did not get intimidated by Gyarados, so that just makes my attacks hugely, hugely powerful. I hate to admit it, but you're Pokemon Master. I'm just clicking through this because it's the same as before. Yeah, Gary is back as well. I have to say, I don't know what Pokemon he starts out with. Let's... Yeah, why not? Let's put Scyther in front and see if that works out. He might start with the Gyarados, but I really don't remember. Not that it matters. Hey you. Hey Strange. You came back. That's so great. My rival should be strong to keep me sharp, bloody blah, bloody blah. And he has also changed his team up a little bit. Champion Gary would like to battle. He starts out with a Heracross. This is a fighting bug type. Not sure if this will work out, but we'll see. Using Rock Tomb. That's gonna hurt a bit, I think. Decreasing my speed, I don't care about too much. Earthquake. Ow. That's gonna hurt a bit as well. If Scizor dies, I don't really care anyway. I'm just gonna try and set it up. Okay, yeah, that counter was going to fail. Let's do Slash. Okay, another Earthquake, that's fine. Once again, 3 Swords Dances. Pretty powerful. Arcanine, time for Rhydon. I will definitely be slower than his Arcanine, by the way. Which he did not change, he still has it. And he switched to that because it's Fire type, and it decreases my attack, so it's actually a good move to bring that out against my my Scizor. Not so useful against Rhydon, though. That Iron Tail's gonna hurt a bit. But that Earthquake's gonna hurt as well. Tyranitar. I think that's a Rock Dark type. I don't know if Ice is effective against that. Let's try it out, I guess. I mean, I also have Primeape, which fighting might be okay against it. I don't know. But yeah, that's really, really powerful, that Pokemon, and the Sandstorm thing is just a pain. Means every turn I get some damage unless I am ground type, or maybe ground or rock. So Rhydon would be immune, but that's about it. Okay, let's try Blizzard. Ooh, Earthquake, ouch. Wow. Who do I want to switch to? Let's try Primeape. I think he's gonna heal it. Yeah, Sandstorm rages. Let's see what Cross Chop does. Yes, it's super effective. Okay. That was actually kind of difficult to take down. Excuse me. Alakazam. I don't really have a counter for that. I'm going to use Flareon. But Flareon is slow, so I'm going to eat a Psychic, I think. And the Sandstorm still rages. Now it's going to hurt both of us. Let's see what Bite does. Ooh, Psychic. Ouch. Gonna do some damage, but I should survive. Wow, does a lot of damage actually. But I think Bite will do a lot as well. And I'm thinking the Sandstorm should subside quite soon. I'm going to Bite again, because I think he will be healed. Yeah, he uses a full restore. Still sandstorming away. I think I'm gonna have to use a potion though. Not sure if he will use one as well, but I don't know. I just don't want to. I don't want Flareon to die, basically. Oh, he uses a full restore as well. That's interesting. I wouldn't mind if the Sandstorm went away now. I think it lasts for, what, 5 turns? Maybe I should have stuck to Flamethrower. Not sure if that would have been more powerful. And I can't survive another Psychic. Might be able to, but it would be close. So I'm just going to go and Hyper Potion again. I don't know if he has more than 2 healing items per Pokemon. He might do. No, he just uses Psychic. And still Sandstorming. I mean, I don't mind if it dies to the Sandstorm, honestly. But that might have been the last turn. Anyway, I'm going to go and just Hyper Potion up again. And there we go. Okay, so yeah, that Tyranitar just killed his Alakazam. I mean, I had more Hyper Potions or full restores and anything like that than he has Psychics, so... Changing to Blastoise because I'm on a Fire Pokemon, that's good. Let's go to Raichu. I'm hoping I outspeed that thing. So it's Thunder. I do outspeed it, yes. That should hurt. That should hurt a lot. Yes, 8 even crits. Nice. And finally Executor. Could go for Jinx and Hope. Could go for Flareon and Hope. Could go for Rhydon and Hope. Let's go Flareon. If it dies, it dies. I mean, I have enough Pokemon to deal with it, so I'm not too worried, but... Oh, still Sandstorming away. I think the Sandstorm Tyranitar causes actually sort of infinite duration. Because usually, if you use those weather moves, they only last for about 5 turns. Yeah, that's the kill. Nice. And there we are. No, that can't be. You beat me at my best. I think these dialogues are all exactly the same as the first time. Yeah. So you've won, blah de blah. I'm just going through these because they are exactly the same as the first time around. We just have a stronger challenge this time, basically. Okay, that did go a lot quicker than I had anticipated. And it's also the end of the LP. There's really nothing else left to do. I mean, I could catch more Pokemon, I could train up more Pokemon, there's still things left to do if I really wanted to do them. But generally, I am done with this. I have shown everything I really wanted to show off. I have defeated the Elite Four twice. The second time using a team of Pokemon that I'm not completely comfortable with, or rather, I would usually use much more overpowered Pokemon, as you saw in my original team. That would have burned through these guys with a lot more ease. But yeah, This team is a lot more unique, I find. Has a lot more Pokemon that aren't so commonly used, at least. Okay, and I'm League Champion, and that, well, that really is the end of the game now. You get this same cutscene, Gary running away crying, and I know Professor Oak actually following him. You sometimes have to feel a bit sorry for Gary Oak. So yeah. I do hope you enjoyed the LP. There was, towards the end, not much opportunity for interaction because I had to pre-record a lot of this, but what can you do? I think it was a lot of fun. Certainly, this is much more... It's a much more polished game than the original Pokémon Red. Yeah, I don't like that the Gen 3 and Gen 2 Pokemon that you get towards the end are kind of... They feel a little... uncaringly slapped onto the game without too much thought or consideration. I guess you just kind of find them in the grass. I think they could have done a little more with that, and also you don't get very many of them. There's a very limited set of them that you can get. So that could have been done a little better. But the main game actually, I think, has been polished very well. It's a lot of fun now. I have to say, Misty, especially when choosing Charmander, is a bit of a steep difficulty change going to Misty, because the only, well, you can get some grass and some electric types. By then you can get Pikachu and is it Oddish? But in general, yeah, Misty is just kind of a peak in the difficulty, and then afterwards it goes down again a bit. But the second round of the Elite Four, even with my overlevel team, you saw I wasn't struggling or anything, but I actually did have to use some healing items there. Unlike the first time round, I think I didn't have to use any in combat. I just kind of one-hit pretty much everything. But second time around, they are much better. They have updated movesets and Pokemon. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I want to say. Yeah, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed, and can I press through this? I can speed through it, so you can see the speed up feature. Hey, listen to terrible sound. It's somewhat sped up. Which makes the music sound really bad, I know. That's the end. And there we are. Back in Pallet Town, where we started our journey. And this is where we're also going to end our journey. So, yeah, let me know what you thought. Was this a good project? Was I rushing too much? Was I too overpowered? Were the fights too boring? I'd appreciate any kind of feedback on this. And, yeah, let me know if you want me to do Pokemon Red, a kind of heavily glitched playthrough. And yeah, if you like this, if you like my commentary style, or sometimes lack thereof, I do have some other projects on the channel that you might enjoy. If you're into the sort of role-playing aspect, there's some stuff I've done in that area. If you prefer more action-based role-playing games, there's some Diablo content, there's some Torchlight content, which kind of goes in that direction. If you prefer more sort of tactical role-playing stuff, there's Blackguards and XCOM, so yeah, I mean, and I've also done stuff like Halo, so there is a bunch of variety. If you liked me here, check those other things out. As always, leave a comment, leave a like. Those are always appreciated and help me see what people want to see and what they don't want to see. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for sticking with me to the end, and maybe we'll see each other again in a different project. Bye bye.